Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. And I'll wait, as usual, for a few people to come on as we say hello this morning. Good morning to you guys. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. Rosalinda, good morning. Nativity and Kevin, good morning to you. Carrie, Nebraska, good morning. Nebraska. Marcy, Mary Jane, Connecticut. Wendy from Markham. Nick, our staff. Jeanette, our staff. And Marin, good morning. Jocelyn, Sturgeon Falls. Keith, good morning. Brenda, Thunder Bay. Samuel, how are you, Samuel? Madeleine, good morning to you. Oh boy, Sean, Butterlips O'Byrne, and Jane, and Sue, and Regina, and Micheline, good morning. Ronaldo from Washington State, Joy, Warmister, BC, and Yolande, bonjour, Sandra, and Georgie, Halifax. Coast to coast, guys, Nellie and Jeanette, and we appreciate you guys. Oh, Sean, he's asking me how the Habs are doing. That's not fair. Karen, Shirley, Fran. Wow, they're expecting some snow in Orangeville, right? Sure. Jerry and Brian, and Sean is in Belize. Bet you it's hot down there. Arlene, Dave, and Dave's from Belize too. Well, holy moly. Beata and Nancy, good morning. And Lori Sudbury, Brenda, and Rachel, and Faye, good morning. Couple more and let's get going. Okay, Liz, Salmon Arm, BC. Man, oh man, Liz, it's bright and early there this morning. Carol, Newfoundland. Deb, big snow expected in today. Wow. Marinacci. No. How do I say that in New Brunswick? Connie, good morning. Diane, how are you? Miramichi, how do you say that? Rosemary. Dubraka in Mississauga and Dale, good morning to you. Okay, now, every day, just about. Okay, so if there's ever a day missing about questions that I get concerning red meat, probably a day doesn't go by. Red meat, as you guys well know, anybody that's been following me, if you go on Google or internet, social media, red meat is a bad guy. And if you ever want to defend red meat, well, listen to the podcast, absolutely, but get the book, The Reset, because I spell it out. The importance of red meat. Now, you're going to get vilified. There's such a narrative on red meat that you're going to be vilified. So just remember that. Get ready to take the arrows. They're coming your way if you defend. But guys, you know when they say follow the science? Well, the real science in food is without red meat, you can't get B12, okay? And in the plant kingdom, there's not enough B12 for a mouse, okay? And I say that all the time, and I mean it. I'm doubling down, okay? Now, why am I bringing this up today is because a new study came out It was published in the Journal of Cell. And a study done at the University of California, Riverside. Okay, never been there, but they did a study on this, on B12. And here's their headlines, okay? Here's their headlines. And I'm going to pontificate a little bit on this morning, okay? Here's their headline. Gut bacteria, okay? So your microbiome, okay? You have trillions of cells in your body. We know that. But what a lot of people don't even think about is you have trillions of bacteria. You have more bacteria in your body than you have cells. Okay? You have more bacteria in your body than you have cells. And the bacteria, here's the headline. Bacteria, your good guys, your microbiome, listen to what I'm going to say, they need B12 to flourish. That's the study. The study, here's the headline, gut bacteria need B12 just as much as you do. Okay? They need vitamin B12 just as much as you do. So the researchers are saying something that I'm sure they're going to get criticized for. Because they said in layman's terms that your gut bacteria need B12 and you need B12. B12, guys, you cannot live well without adequate B12. Okay? And here's the study. The microbiome need B12. You know how they get it? Now, if you got any kids in the room, block their ears. Because bacteria have sex in order to absorb B12. I'm telling you, this is the study. It's crazy. Like, I was laughing when I read it. But they're serious. They need B12 so much. They can't flourish without it. It's one of the ways they reproduce. Now that is significant, guys. That is significant. Did we know that? No, we didn't know that. Like, I always talked about B12. All my practice years, I talked about B12. All of it. Because it was one of the things that I found people to be deficient in was vitamin B12. And again, if you're taking blood tests, the blood test for B12 is 100 years old. It's time to get a new blood test for B12. It really is. Because the normals, like, they made up this math for normal B12 100 years ago. And they've never changed it. Because by and large today, okay, compared to in the 1950s, 1960s, when you were tired in the 1950s or 60s, most doctors right away would give you a B12 shot. Did they rely on blood work? Nah. My grandmother got a B12 shot every week. I remember that. Right? And people got their B12 shots all the time. And doctors at that time were not relying so much on, no, oh, you're tired? Okay, I'm giving you B12. They knew it wasn't going to hurt you. You know, like when people tell me, you know what, like, I got too much B12. Well, I don't think so. Okay, like if your numbers are around 1400, I usually tell people, look, you don't need a supplement anymore. Okay, but so your numbers are 1400. What's going to happen? Are you going to collapse? I got too much B12. I think I'm going to die. Nah, it's a water-soluble vitamin, first of all. And like B12 is so essential. And I love, by the way, for me, it just over the years of experience, if you're under 800 for your B12, you are low in B12. I like 800 to about 1200. If it's 1400, I like that too. But you don't need to supplement at that time. But some people need to supplement B12 in order to keep their B12 levels optimized. But isn't it interesting? Here we are in 2022, and we're finding out that even the microbiome, your bacteria, feed on vitamin B12. Now, let me remind you of something. You don't get B12 from chicken. You don't get B12 from salad. You don't get B12 in the plant kingdom. You get B12 in red meat. Highest source is liver. And beef is, I like beef more than liver personally, and that's because that's me. So you'll always hear me talking about vitamin S, which is steak. Now, okay, so let's take it one little step further. One little step further. If your microbiome need B12 to flourish, to reproduce, to colonize, not only your gut, everywhere where you have bacteria, on your skin, in your mucus, everywhere, every organ, you need bacteria. They're on your side. Don't wipe out all bacteria. Okay, just so I don't get on a rabbit trail before I finish my point. If your bacteria, your good guys, need B12 to flourish, how can red meat be bad for you? How can it be? If God put B12 in red meat and only red meat, how could that be bad for you? The more they study it, I know it doesn't fit their narrative. I know Bill Gates wants you to have meatless burgers. Ooh. Your microbiome needs B12 to flourish. And if you don't have a good microbiome, if you don't have more good guys than bad guys, you lose. Your immune system, leaky gut, yeast invades. That's why red meat is so good for you. You know when they say, oh, you need fiber. Oh, it gives me, guys, I've been consistent. So don't come after me for inconsistency, okay? Because I've been consistent. What have I always said about fiber? It's overrated. Why did I say that? Because it was an agenda by Dr. Kellogg's. Yeah, did you know Kellogg's? The founder of Kellogg's cereals? He was a medical doctor. He was a vegetarian. He was a vegan. I don't even want to get into how weird this guy was. He was really weird. But he had a lot of money. And he had I'm going back in the 1920s and whatever, people would go to his clinic and he would feed them cereal. But he wasn't right. He wasn't right. I tell you guys, that has been one of the biggest scourges in our society today, is people eating cereal. What? It's loaded in carbohydrates and sugars. And, so it has a little bit of fiber in it. So what? Oh, Dr. Martin, if I don't have all brand, I got to have my all brand every day. Why? Because I need it to go to the bathroom. Well, I said, get your gut used to not having fiber. Your body will adjust. You need B12 more than you need fiber. I'm going to tell you that. And now, what does this study tell us? That B12 is more important for your gut, for your microbiome, for your bacteria. And you know what bacteria does? Does a lot of things. What does your healthy microbiome do? Well, it's part of your immune system. It patches up your gut so you don't have leaky gut. It keeps yeast at bay, fungus, which is a big, big, big issue. It does so many things. It absorbs your vitamins. It's interesting because if you don't have a good microbiome, you can't absorb B12. And if you don't have enough B12, your microbiome doesn't work properly. Man, do you think that's important, B12? It's essential. It's an essential vitamin. People talk to me every day about B vitamins. Hey, doc, do I need B vitamins? Yeah, you do. Should I take a B complex? No. Why do you need to do that? Well, I thought it would be good. Well, I'd rather you eat your B vitamins. Oh yeah? How do I do that, doc? Vitamin S. Vitamin S will give you all your B vitamins, especially the one that's the most important. All B vitamins are important, but the king of the castle is B12. So, doc, how do I know if I'm low in B12 without a blood test? Well, the blood test, like I said, I don't particularly rely on it. I want it to be very high, because you need optimized B12. Okay? You need optimized B12. Now, what happens when you don't have enough B12? Do you croak right away? Are you just going to peel over and die without B12? No. But there's going to be a lot of things that won't work properly. B12, it does a lot of things, but your whole nervous system relies on B12. You don't fire on all cylinders without B12. Your nervous system. This is why when we used to see Parkinson's patients, MS patients, people with tremors, they were almost 99% of the time low in B12. So your neurological system. Are you yawning all the time? You find yourself yawning? Yeah. Yawning. Sucking for air. That's what that is, by the way. Yawning is sucking for air. Well, that's B12. Okay? Because without B12, you don't make enough red blood cells. You know what red blood cells are? They're FedEx trucks on your highways of your blood vessels, inside your blood vessels, carrying hemoglobin, oxygen. Without B12, you can't make that properly. Oh, doc, I mean, I'm normal. I beg to disagree with you. You are low in B12 when you're yawning, sucking for air. You go up a flight of stairs and you're short of breath. It's usually a sign you're low in B12. And don't wait for a blood test because my blood test is 300. I mean, my doctor, Your body's starving for B12. So is your microbiome. Incredible study. Memory. Did you know you need B12 for memory? How could anybody tell me that being a vegetarian or a vegan is better for your memory when you don't get B12? It doesn't make any sense to you that a vegan or a vegetarian, if the doctor is honest, will say, okay, you've chosen that lifestyle. You know you need B12. Okay? Well, they don't tell you that. They should. How can that be right? Oh, okay, it's really good for you to be a vegetarian. You look at young people today, and they're buying it hook, line, and sinker because of the climate and the narrative that is out there. Cows are farting, and they're just, it's climate change, and I get a headache, guys. I get a headache, a massive headache when I read nonsense like that. A cow is your best friend, okay? So the next time you see a cow, thank him or her, okay? Cows are your best friend. When they say save the animals, I agree with that. Most people are thinking cats and dogs. I'm thinking cows. Man, oh man. And cows eat grass to give you B12. You don't eat grass. Salad is glorified grass, okay? Human beings weren't meant to eat grass. Cows were meant to eat grass. And when cow eats grass, you get B12, okay? And it's an essential vitamin. Your memory, your nerves, your oxygen, okay? Your muscles. Your muscles need B12. Did you know that? Yep. Your muscles need B12. They don't function properly without B12. Anybody got digestive problems? If you put your hand up, if you have digestive problems, you just about figured that you're low in B12. Because B12 is a very finicky vitamin. If you look at it in a molecular structure of B12, it's a very large vitamin, okay? And that's why a lot of people it's one of the reasons a lot of people are low in it, because they don't absorb it properly, because it's such a big vitamin compared to other vitamins, okay? And so what happens with them is that they're, if you got digestive problems, and if you're taking almost any medication, from metformin for diabetes, acid reflux medications, high blood pressure medications, antidepressants, almost, you know what, guys? I used to measure B12 in the office, okay? And I'm telling you, almost any medication, even Tylenol and Advil, when taken, because some people live on that stuff, it destroys your B12. You don't absorb B12 properly. I used to surprise people in the office. I said, you're B12, you're not absorbing it very well. Like, Doc, I can't understand that. I like vitamin S, steak. Good, keep liking it. But you might have to, temporarily at least, take a B12 supplement. And guys, you can take a B12 shot if you want. I'm not against B12 shots whatsoever. But here's the research, okay? Here's the science. When you are taking a sublingual, melt in your mouth, under your tongue, B12, okay? And if it's a methylcobalamin, okay? Methylcobalamin. They're showing that the supplement, if it's the right one, if it's sublingual, meaning it melts in your mouth, doesn't have to go through your digestive tract. It goes immediately into your bloodstream. What happens? That is better than a B12 shot. It's better than a B12 shot. That's research. So, do I like B12 shots? Absolutely like B12 shots. But what's more convenient and even more effective is the sublingual methylcobalamin B12. Yep. And you remember, when I started practice, that wasn't even available. You couldn't get B12 in that form. You could only get it from taking a B12 shot. So your brain needs B12. Your nervous system needs B12. The myelin sheath of your nerves, that cover your electrical grid in your brain and the central nervous system, absolutely need B12. And like I said, you're not going to croak right away, but you won't be at the top of your game. And the first thing is that oxygen and energy. And your microbiome needs it. They can't even flourish without it. So why would red meat be bad for you? How could that be? So it gives you another tool in your toolbox when someone tells you, when someone preaches that you shouldn't be eating red meat because Dr. Martin, it causes cancer. What do you say about that? Well, let my head explode first, and then I'll talk about it. Ooh! I can hardly get over that. How can that be? Well, Dr. Martin, it's acidic. It really isn't. Red meat isn't acidic. Who told you that? Well, my nutritionist. Well, your nutritionist, I'm sorry. They're reading propaganda. Red meat's not acidic. It doesn't end up acidic. Your microbiome needs it. And your body has a buffering system. Oh, Dr. Martin, tomatoes are acidic. I know, but that doesn't make them bad for you. They're acidic out here. A tomato is acidic right here, okay? So you got a tomato in your hand. Is that acidic? Yep. It starts in your mouth. Is it acidic? Yep. Yeah, it's acidic in your mouth. A lemon is acidic. Did you know that? A lemon is acidic. But not when it gets into your body, because your body turns it alkaline. Yep. No, but seriously, guys, your body is smart. It knows what to do. You can't have nightshade vegetables. Nightshade. What does that mean? Well, you can't have tomatoes. They're nightshade. I know, I read about that, but what nonsense. I mean, I know the whole, you have no idea how many people that went for that. Oh, the nightshades. It's bad for arthritis. No. Who told you that? Well, I read it. I know, but it doesn't make any sense. They're not acidic. Sugar's acidic. And your body can't buffer that. And when people insist on high fructose corn syrup, which is in cereals, by the way, that's the sugar they use. They can masquerade it in 99 other names. They don't have to tell you that they're using high fructose corn syrup. You want to know what's acidic, guys, and your body can't make it alkaline? Is sugar. Sugar, honey, honey. It's not good. That's what is acidic. That's what is acidic, guys. Not meat. It's not acidic. Okay. You get heart palpitations? One of the reasons, okay, you can have a magnesium deficiency, but heart palpitations are often a shortage or a deficiency in B12. Yep. I'm telling you, you ask Jeanette, you ask Nicole, who worked with me for years, how often we saw B12 deficiencies in our office. Incredible. Incredible. And by the way, okay, I'll give you a couple of others. You know what the test homocysteine is? Get your homocysteine checked, which is an amino acid test. If you have high homocysteine, that you got high inflammation. You know what lowers your homocysteine? B12. Oh, I didn't know that, Doc. Yep, it lowers inflammation. Do you know what elevates? Here's another one. You know what elevates your nitric oxide? You know what nitric oxide is? It's nitroglycerin inside. The guy that discovered nitric oxide won, I was going to say, an Academy Award. Okay. He won an award in medicine. For what? He discovered that human beings have nitric oxide. It's a little chemical compound that actually helps your blood vessels to open up. They explode. That's why they used to give you nitroglycerin. They didn't even really understand how it worked, other than it opened up your blood vessels. And then they found out your body actually has that. But do you know that you don't make enough nitric oxide? You don't make enough nitric oxide if you're low in B12? Well, that's dangerous. Yeah. Your blood vessels. Wow. Yeah. Why would you eat a steak, Dr. Martin? Because I just mentioned 10 things. Your microbiome needs it. Your brain needs it. Your nerves need it. Right? A lady asked, I think it was yesterday, I was scrolling through, remember, during the live, and I just happened to see it. Dr. Martin. You know, what causes burning mouth syndrome? Well, it's usually, you get burning mouth syndrome, usually you're low in B12, you're not absorbing it properly. So your memory, your muscles, your nitric oxide, your homocysteine, inflammation marker. oxygen. You're yawning too much. You got digestive problems. You're not absorbing properly. Interesting, isn't it? Guys, I want you to be armed. You know, there's a verse in the Bible that says, study to show thyself approved. A workman that needeth not be ashamed. Okay, rightly dividing the word of truth. Guys, you got the truth about red meat. And don't get blown away from your game, because they're going to come at you. I'm telling you, this agenda, if you think it's going away to get rid of red meat, I'm telling you, it's only just begun. It's only just begun, the fight. Gates, who's got gazillions of dollars, and others like him, are trying to get rid of red meat. And governments, ooh, they don't have any backbone. Why don't they invite me on? I'd love to debate a vegetarian or a vegan doctor. I'd love to debate them. Anyway, okay, guys. We love you, okay? And I love vegans too, by the way. I do. I love vegetarians. I love them. I don't agree with them, but I love them. And I mean that. I hundreds and hundreds of them in my office over the years. I said, well, look, if you insist, then promise me something. You'll take B12 as long as you're a vegetarian or a vegan. You'll take it every day. Promise. Because you're never going to be right without that. Okay. What is Friday? Question and answer Friday. Okay? Question and answer Friday. Now, tomorrow, I've got a crazy day tomorrow. Okay? So I'm thinking may not be available tomorrow. I'll let you know later today. Okay? So, we love you guys. Send your questions in for Question and Answer Friday, and we'll talk to you soon.